Harry Teicher. I'm the Impact Finance Counsel at Orrick, Herrington, and Sutcliffe. So we're talking about the California Wildfire Innovation Fund. It's a fund that is sponsored by Blue Forest, a nonprofit organization that's focused on forest resilience and wildfire prevention, particularly but not exclusively in California. One of the challenges is finding flexible financing for projects, organizations, entrepreneurs that are combating wildfire, focused on resilience in California. There's grant money available, there's different types of investments that are increasingly becoming available, but creating a investment vehicle that is really aligned with these goals and that's providing flexible financing to accomplish that is new, is innovative, and that's what we were helping our client design. So one of the challenges as it became apparent was the fund was structured as a limited partnership, so to bring together a diverse set of investors who have different financial interests but know that they're investing into this one project. So the initial limited partner was the CSAA, an insurance company in California, and they came in with the initial investment. We built the fund around sort of negotiating with them as you would. As we continue to develop the fundraising strategy, really led by Blue Forest, one of the pieces was thinking about what are other LPs interested in, what are they looking for, and one of the LPs that came to the table was the IBank, the California Infrastructure Bank. However, California Infrastructure Bank can't invest statutorily equity into anything. It has to invest in the form of debt. And so what we were working on solving is a structure that enables IBank to come in debt but still have rights that are basically the same as the equity investors, but navigating the nuances of the regulatory requirements, the tax requirements, the governance requirements, and working with CSAA's counsel, working with IBank's counsel from the business side and the legal side, and sort of building that collaboratively with the ultimate goal of providing flexible capital for entrepreneurs to solve this really dramatic issue. I think a key piece was that it wasn't just one lawyer or one legal team. It was really collaborative across the in-house and outside counsel from each of these organizations. Us working on behalf of Blue Forest, CSAA's counsel, and IBank's counsel, we played, I think, a really significant role on designing the framework for which IBank would participate in coming up with this participating loan structure. So it's a mechanism that is a debt investment into the entity that then parallels sort of the equity-like returns. There were a lot of nuances there that you don't necessarily think about from like when you're putting together the limited partnership in and of itself, because you expect that the LPs are going to invest as LPs and have an equity interest. One of the challenges was thinking about, if this is debt, where does it fall on the waterfall, and how do you get the money out, and how do you deal with both downside scenarios and upside scenarios, and ensuring that if, for the equity investors, if the upside scenario is really, really good potentially, but that the debt instrument is supposed to parallel that, how do you provide a commensurate return for the debt holders and still have it be classified as debt, but sort of build that mechanism? And so we worked with IBank to design this mechanism, worked with CSAA to get them comfortable with it, and really collaboratively built this and brought the capital together. We got involved really early on. I think one of our work with Blue Forest goes back really to their founding, and so I think the structure of the relationship is really collaborative, where we are working together on strategy and sort of aligning the legal needs with the strategic support. And so for this engagement, we got involved early to help navigate where those potential nuances are, and thinking about early on in fundraising, what could this fund look like, and how do we address the concerns that are right in front of us, but also prepare them for the opportunities that could present if an LP or an investor like IBank were to come to the table. investment management, sort of drafting the limited partnership agreement, tax, looking at what is classified as debt versus what is classified as equity, work addressing sort of the regulatory considerations from the IBank side, from the CSAA side, understanding what the implications of all those things are for Blue Forest as the asset manager and sponsor of the fund and as the general partner of the fund. Looking at, are there restrictions on how they can use the capital based on this different mechanism. And so I think that it was really a comprehensive legal work to bring together a lot of different pieces. During the negotiation and in trying to figure out the right structure, one of the underlying principles that we all kept in mind was that the parties were all here in order to develop an innovative financing vehicle that was going to be able to address the real needs of the state of California and the communities, providing a variety of different financing tools to support forest resilience across the state. A structure that would enable Blue Forest through the fund to make debt investments, to make equity investments, and to work with the portfolio companies and the portfolio investments in deploying capital in the way that was necessary for the range of solutions that are coming in the market. That was really one of those underlying principles that enabled us, or that facilitated both a really effective negotiation and in looking at what the ultimate solution is. I'm really proud that we were able to work together with CSAA and with IBank and with our client Blue Forest to come up with a structure that made sense, that brought in this meaningful catalytic capital in a way that our hope is it's a model for other funds and for Blue Forest in the future.